Hey y'all, so it is garden tour number 8. It's already been another week. Can you believe it? Anyway, so the green bean issue we've been having, I told you we were going to try a different spot, and I'd ordered another pound of green bean seeds. So we are across the creek and there's a really wet area right here. It's kind of just a nice moist rich area, and we came through and planted all the beans over here, and we put this hay that we had that wasn't really good for the animals because it was because it gotten really rained on and stuff. So we put this in between the rows to kind of keep the weeds down and give us somewhere to walk, and we planted the seeds. I'm seeing a little bit of germination, not a whole lot yet, but it's only been a couple days. So anyways, in theory this is a really great spot and they ought to do really well. Our plan is to come through and put up some electric fence around it, and then netting around the bottom, because we have rabbits and deer over here, and we know they'll obviously get in and eat them all up pretty quickly if we don't. So they haven't germinated yet, so we're not super worried about it, but that's on the agenda for the weekend, is to come down here and get tall fence, and I think we'll use poultry netting at the bottom to keep the rabbits out. But hopefully this does really well, because the rest of our green beans have been a complete and total flop failure this year. It's been kind of sad. Alright, here we are at the corn patch. Some of the corn stood back up from the storm. A lot of it didn't, so we'll just have to see how it does. We have a lot of ears on here. None of them are ready yet. But yeah, it's a little bit sad. It's kind of a little bit messed up, but it'll be alright. We'll get what we get.
Yep, that's right. We have brush burning in the background. That's what you hear.
The sizzling.
Just brush from another job.
Yeah. There it goes and cleans other people's places up and brings all their junk here for us to have to burn.
It's the name of the game.
Yep. All right, our Seminole pumpkins are getting huge. Well, not the pumpkins, we don't have any yet, but the vines are. I just keep coming through and training them up. The trellis, this guy is over here. He's all hanging on. Let me see if I can unwrap him. He needs to come this way. They're all grabbing onto each other. There we go. So they're doing really well. The leaves are a little bit droopy today. I think we've got, we need to water. It's been excessively hot. I mean,
heat index is over 100.
It's crazy. That's crazy for here.
Hotter than normal for here.
Yeah, way hotter than normal. So we need to...
days of that.
We need
If we hadn't done this hay mulch,
like,
we would have to be watering probably
at
least once a day. But this hasn't. When was the last time we actually watered this?
I don't know. It's been a long time. The mulch has made all the difference in the world as far as the water retention.
It's crazy.
It's been incredible. Look at this. This is to the top of the trellis here.
Yeah, it's 6 feet tall.
They're all taller than me. That's awesome. Our okras are doing really well. The baby okra that we planted are all coming up. These were the first ones. We've been harvesting not a ton, but a little bit every day. We had enough. Kylie cooked some for herself yesterday for lunch. Just sauteed it in the pan. But we pickled a little bit, and pretty soon though we will be overrun with okra, and we're going to need to probably chop it up and freeze it or something. And then our squash needs water really bad. It's looking rough. We planted an acorn squash in here and it's dead. So we had 4 acorn squash we transplanted. They may all be dead, I'm not sure. But we'll look. But I think we're gonna have to come over here and water things because it's looking really, really sad. And that was the wheelbarrow full of the ones that vine borers got in. And that was supposed to go to pigs, but apparently it didn't quite make it. Yeah, we planted, there's one, we need to water it. It's still alive. It's there. It's looking a little puny, but it's there. Not seeing the other one, so we might have 1 acorn squash out of all those that have survived. Yeah, I'm not seeing the others. This cucumber plant needs to come this way. I don't know where it's going. Excuse me, Mr. Cucumber plant, you go this way. Our little plants that we started are all just now starting to come up, so we should be getting a good bit. We've been getting a handful of cucumbers. We've been doing a lot of refrigerator pickles and eating some fresh, but pretty soon we should be, look at that one, it grew across. It missed the memo on straighten over. It kind of went, meow. So all the little plants though are starting to grow, and they got long all of a sudden because I've been out here every day training them, and then all of a sudden these ones are just like all out in the beds. So there we go. Oops. Drop that little guy. They're doing really well, which is awesome. And my dill's kind of crazy. It got smashed a little by the storm, but it's coming back up. I really need to cut off some of this for pickling. And our potatoes were doing great. And then potato bugs got on our red potatoes and basically decimated them overnight.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
They were there and looked great, and then they were the next day. They're just about, now some of them are getting greenery back, so I'm not giving up on them completely. We're gonna keep on tending them as if they're fine, and hopefully they'll be okay, because all of that was nothing but twigs, and it all has greenery back on it again. So I'm really hopeful. This sunflower plant is covered up in buds all over it. I'm really excited about that. The other one, like I showed you, the storm knocked it down, but that's the one last sunflower standing. Kids' tomatoes are the kids' tomatoes. They're basically doing what they've been doing the whole time.
Going wild.
Wild and crazy. And this ginormous weed here, there's just doing really well. All right, our rattlesnake, our trellis. We need to do something here with this trellis.
It needs to be retamped.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not going to fall
No,
over,
but it's
leaning.
definitely like the leaning tower of trellis. So, but these green beans, the rattlesnake beans, are looking pretty good. So we're just going to kind of, I think they need to be watered too. Everything's a little bit dry.
It's very dry down
So
here.
we got to get them watered. These two acorn squash are still hanging on. They got some blooms. So we may get acorn squash yet. We'll
Hopefully.
see. That one's got a bloom. There's a couple weeds around it, but
You can see our green beans that we've planted.
yeah,
We've got like
they're like 15 of them, I think, total.
1% germination.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So it is what it is, but hopefully the ones across the creek will do well, and our pole beans over there are doing well. Hopefully they'll produce a lot. That's the big kicker. They can look great, but they got to produce well.
Yeah.
All right, the pole beans are doing their thing. They're growing up the trellis, so nothing is blooming yet. Hopefully soon we'll start getting some beans. So they're looking healthy and great, and they haven't been riddled with bugs, so that's good, because we got the bean beetles pretty bad over there.
Yeah.
The last little bit on those.
We've been
dragonfly beans.
giving these a little shot of neem oil once in a while too to help dissuade any kind of bean beetles that think it's a good idea to munch on them.
Yep.
Here's a runner on the ground.
Oh goodness, it is. Where are you going? We've got a runner. There was one of those in the city the other day, and they caught him.
I heard
More
that.
detail. Oops. Anyway, back to the point. This trellis was laying flat on the ground the other day. We had a storm, and it was a second storm, and this was like flat on the ground. So we came through and we took the opportunity to clean it up. I'm getting sidetracked because my basil is full of seed, and I don't want that. So let me snap those seed heads off. Anyway, so we took the opportunity to clean the bed up. We fixed the trellis. I clipped up some of this. It's just kind of wild and out of control. But our saucing tomatoes are doing well. We're using all of our tomatoes for sauce. And we've put up 17 quarts. I think we had several that didn't seal, and we've eaten those. So
We've done 21 quarts, 3 batches.
We've done 21 quarts in the canner, and 4 haven't sealed total.
Yeah.
And we've used those, plus use another half gallon. I'm just trying to think. So we've gotten a good bit of sauce. I mean,
Yeah.
we've cooked with a good bit of it too. We got, the chickens came in here and got my great white. I'm gonna have to go and poke a chicken in the eye, man. That is awful.
Look at.
I'm not really gonna poke my chicken in the eye. I just said that. And it was ready. These are good. This
You can
one,
cut that half off of it though, and still the other half.
Look at these. This thing has just put off some monster tomatoes. It's huge. The first tomato we got off of here was 24.5 ounces. It was huge. So
Yep, those are nice.
yeah, they're good. £1.5. These are over £1, I'm sure, but so they're really good, and they're really good. I like them. They're a nice, sweet, mild flavor. But anyway, this side we were able to recover 3 of our peppers. I think we had one down here that got smashed and killed. This one is really droopy. I think it's dying. We tried, but after it got smashed, it just didn't do as well. These branches are crazy. So anyway, that was the big fiasco, was with this one. Everything else is pretty much just doing its thing. Let me show you how these are doing. And I need to start pruning these because they're kind of getting wild all of a sudden. They were like this big and now all of a sudden they're like bushes. So we need to get some trellising up for these. They're my Dr. Witchies and Purple Russian. So, and then I got my 2 little poblanoes. And why are my poblanoes on the ground? My peppers are knocked down.
Huh.
I wonder if the chickens pecked. Look, there's some leaves. But the chickens, yeah, the chickens have been in here pecking on them.
We'll have to do something with the chickens.
Scoundrels. They're not supposed to be in here.
They're not supposed. Yeah, we had them.
Stinking rotten.
I've been sick for like 5 days,
Yeah,
so I haven't been able to come out and help much.
He doesn't get sick often, but when he does it. These had blooms. We've got the trellises. I didn't realize how big they got, honey.
Yeah, I see that.
We'll get a trellis out here. Do we have another cattle panel?
I don't think so. We'll probably
We might
get
have to
one.
shoot bamboo or do something. Perennial garden is basically out of control right now. The melons are doing great. I saw 2 cantaloupe about this big. The cushaw pumpkin's getting big, but the weeds are out of control, and now it's kind of a hazard just to walk in there. I was trying to walk through and I was getting on vines, so I never did mulch. So we're going to go through and very meticulously get the weeds out, weed eat, and mulch, so that we can get in there and take care of it better, because it's a little bit crazy. It's hard when your muscle man is down.
And it's like 100 degrees heat
and
index.
it's been, yeah, the heat index has been over 100, which is not cool, obviously.
We've been mowing, but it's just not. We haven't mowed our place yet.
No, things around here have gotten a little bit neglected because of the heat and sickness and dizziness. But let me show you one more thing. Over here, come this way.
I'm following you.
The girls' stuff looks great. Their marigolds have gotten insanely huge.
Yeah,
again. What they'll do is they'll grow the marigolds, and then when the marigolds start getting in the way of their tomatoes, they pull the marigolds and go transplant them somewhere else. But Kylie weeded this bed, which I showed you the other day, and so we could see the melons. But look, that one's growing under the fence. It needs to be pushed. It's gotten smashed. There we go. We got 3 there, 4, 5, 6. We need to support these soon. 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. One rotted. Wow. 17, 18, 19. It looks like a deflated balloon. 19 that I just counted really quickly. 20, 21. Oh, this one we missed this. It's split.
It
was ready. Man, that stinks. I've been checking these too.
Still cut it open and check
well,
it.
I think that something's found it before, so we'll cut it open, see what it looks like. So there's well over 20 in here though. That's awesome. They're still going to put more on as they grow up the fence.
Yeah, they're still blooming.
So Kylie actually worked on that side a little bit. There's still weeds over here, but she was working on that side. Pigs are playing in the water.
Yeah, look at that.
But man, this smells really good. We'll cut it open and look at it, just to see what it looks like inside.
I was videoing the pig.
I know, that's fine. I'm just sniffing a rotten melon.
Yeah.
But anyway, these are my orange Russolini, and the plants are plumb wild. They're just all down in here. They didn't go up the trellis. They went where they wanted. They were like, you're not going to tell me what to do. But they're really good. They're ripening, and my peppers are getting suffocated, so we're going to have to come through and do something over here, because I've got a lot of pepper plants in here. And our peppers have just been mediocre this year. We had some that have done well, and most haven't. The ones that have done well have done right. Like, I have 4 banana pepper plants, and I think off of the 4, we're getting like what 1 would normally produce. It's not been a great year for peppers, but I've heard that from everybody in this area. It seems like everybody's having a little bit of a sad pepper year this year. But overall, we're just getting a lot every day. We're getting a lot of squash and tomatoes, and things are looking really good, and we're getting to put stuff up, and we're just waiting for the green beans to come in so we can be putting up green beans, because that will make us really happy.